In this video, we'll discuss networking for health. Hello, welcome to Shavonde's World. I am Shavonde Chase, helping you live life unlimited. Often when we think about networking, we think about networking as it relates to business. However, we can take our networking ideas and principles and relay those to health and wellness. Networking is really all about building relationships and spending time with each other. When we do this as it relates to our health and wellness, we can really increase how we feel and the way we treat our other people and how we intensify our well-being. When we network for wellness, it's really about building our own self-esteem, connecting with other people, and finding those types of relationships that works best. When you're thinking about networking, the first thing you really want to do is understand your goals. What exactly is it that you're looking for? In an earlier video, we talked about wellness as it relates to 5 principles: our social being, physical, mental, environmental, spiritual, and lifestyle. Now, all of these are important. Some of us may be looking for support with networking in the community and doing for others. Some of us may need help with our mental health and issues. We may be having challenges as it relates to our psychological well-being. Physical, some of us may be trying to lose weight, get healthier physically. We may have health issues and challenges that we want to improve. In our social lives, building our communities, building strength, building our relationship with others is really important. And as far as a spiritual wellness, it doesn't always relate to finding a religion, but it could be just finding a life purpose, finding where we sit in the world. And we can figure all these things out by networking with groups and getting to know other people. One of the things that we want to do before we just settle in on a group or a network type environment, we want to visit multiple groups, so this way we can test it out, see how it feels, and see if it's the right fit. Just because a group is meant to be for the purpose that you're looking for does not mean that it's the right group for you. For instance, I could be looking for a group that has to do with head trauma. But just because the group is focused on head trauma doesn't mean that it's going to give me that social support that I actually need. People may just come and show up. People may not be able to feed me and give me the strength that I need to carry on with that. When you're attending these groups, sometimes it helps to hold a position in a volunteer manner. This helps with our social aspect of wellness as we're doing good for others. And when we do good for others, it actually increases our endorphins. It makes us feel good about ourselves. Doing good for others, it's something that we should all get involved in, find a purpose, and look for those volunteer positions. That way we can learn and grow, and we can also help others learn and grow in the process. When you're going throughout these networking events in these groups, you should ask open-ended questions. This allows for a conversation to actually start and find out more about the group and the people that's involved. There's this one thing that you say that, you don't know what you don't know. So you have to talk to people to understand, one, is it the right fit for you? Before you're in the group for a month, then you wasted all that time. You want to ask questions such as, how long this group been there? What's the purpose of the group? How do others feel about the group? What's the purpose of the other people that's in the group? Why are they there? And then you can find commonalities and be able to turn it into a give and take relationship. One of the things that you may want to look into as you go into these group settings is become known as a resource. Not only are you looking for something for a need, you also want to give back. So whether it's you've had a particular experience with a certain issue, or you have a particular skill that you can share, identify that before you start going to these groups. That way you can share that and let people know that that's how you can help them. At the same time, you want to understand what it is that you can do and what you can contribute, as this is very important when you're networking and relating to others, because others are going to need something that you have to offer. And sometimes before we get started, we really don't know our own worth. We don't understand our skill sets and how it relates to the world around us. So talking with people prior to and asking them, hey, what am I good at? What do you like about me? What don't you like about me? They can help us determine those skills and attributes. And you have to, of course, articulate these skills, these attributes, and what you can give, because keeping it to yourself isn't going to do anybody any good. So I really understood the importance of this as I was getting out the military. And of course, in the military, we have a certain language. We use lots of acronyms that nobody tends to understand. So I had to learn how to turn those military terms into civilian language where others can understand. There was a time, the first 2, 3, 4 months after retiring from the military, talking to people, it was just a deadbeat end until I understood the way to explain it in the way others could receive the information. Once you meet connections, you always want to follow up with them quickly. If you have been asked to do something and you have accepted the request, don't take a whole month to do it. Try to do it, within a reasonable amount of time. It may be a day, it may be a week, depending on what it is that needs to be done. And if you have a milestone or if you're having issues along the way, just pick up the phone and let somebody know. And you always want to contact those who you meet. Just send them a thank you letter, an email, ask them out for coffee, to meet up later. You may want to finish discussing the topic that you started. Or you may just want to just say thank you. When you do all these things for health, it really all affects you in all 5 areas of your life. Because as you improve on one of your areas of wellness, it always improves the other. For instance, when you're mentally physical, science has proven that you become physically healthy as well. You build relationships in your communities. It gives you a sense of life purpose and well-being. Our lifestyle, the way we live our lives, making sure we have downtime, our businesses are doing good, and we're financially stable, gives us the better means to eat well, get out and exercise, and be active in our communities. When I think about wellness for networking, networking for health, it really boils down to joining social groups, joining support groups, and I propose this information this way instead of talking about social groups and support groups, because sometimes those tend to have a negative connotation. But when we think about it in the ways of networking, everybody's open to listening to networking for business and how we use those principles to give to others and to accept something that we need to go look out for. So when we apply those principles in this light, people are more willing to listen, and so that's why I presented it this way. But really, social groups and support groups really are necessary for all of us to join and maintain. And so we really should get involved in these types of environments. Even if you're an introvert, you can still show up and come around a lot of group of people. You don't have to do it all the time, but doing it sometimes really does improve our mental health and the other areas of our well-being. So with that being said, I know a lot of you are saying that sounds pretty good and dandy, but what about introverts? On our next video, we will discuss that area further and give you some ways to network from your comfort zone. So until next time, thank you for watching Shavonde's World. This is Shavonde Chase, helping you live life unlimited.